Welcome back to the channel, my fellow traders and investors. Tesla stock is finally breaking out to the upside. As we discussed a couple of weeks ago, I told you guys to watch for that break above 750. We got that break and now we're finally squeezing higher, especially on the backs of some really positive news. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down Tesla's full technical analysis, price target, and my personal strategy to profit, and exactly how I plan to be trading and investing at Tesla stock at this point. So all I ask in return is that you subscribe so that this video can be pushed out to more traders that need a better understanding of how the stock is looking and how to trade it and profit. And with that being said, if you want to learn technical analysis for yourself and a ton of advanced trading strategies, be sure to go get my new book, A Technical Trader's Handbook, on Amazon, which was the #1 hot release in public finance in the world. So be sure to go get it, and let's jump into the video. Alright, so jumping into the technicals, we can see a few things right off the bat. So the last time we talked about Tesla stock, I told you guys how things were looking extremely bullish. I told you guys how we'd formed a golden cross. Essentially, we can see how the 50 SMA, which is the yellow line, crossed above the 200 SMA, which is the green line, and that is called a golden cross. And it kind of just shows that the longer term moving averages are an agreement of the overall trend being in favor of the bulls, and this shows that there's a longer term potential for the uptrend to continue. And the last time this happened, Tesla stock ran up 2,500%. And then going back to the hourly chart on the 1 month chart, I told you guys how we were facing resistance here at about 755. I told you guys that once we got this break above, in a way got a strong decisive break above, expect a big move to the upside up to this top diagonal resistance line that we had. So overall, congrats if you profited off that move. But now let's talk about what could happen with Tesla stock at this point. Now zooming out, if we take a look at how the stock is performing, we can see that we're actually at somewhat of a resistance level. We can see how we had a previous level of resistance way back over here at about 780, 790 as well. So I could definitely see at this point Tesla stock probably face some resistance, because we're also at the top diagonal resistance line of this channel. Over on the hourly chart, we can see how we're also overbought on the RSI, and every time we've reached this about 80 level, we've ended up dropping back down. The red MACD line is above the green signal line, which is bullish, but we are somewhat overbought and we're at the top of the channel. So I could right now at this point probably see Tesla stock pull back down to this level here at about 778 before we continue even higher. The reason being is that you can see 770, 78 is this previous level of resistance. When we pushed up over here, we found some resistance before turning the 9 EMA, which is this blue line, into support and then continuing through higher. So I could at this point see it come down to 780, 778, which also happens to be where our 9 EMA is, which is this blue line. And as we know, the 9 EMA always acts as support and a big indicator of the trend direction. By being above it, it also shows that buyers are willing to pay a premium compared to the short-term average of the stock. So we can see that we're holding it at support, So I could see this pullback here and potentially be looking to add into that before the uptrend continues. Now, overall news has also been really bullish. As we know, the whole reason the stock is even up today is the fact that they announced that they're opening a new beta feature for their full self-driving feature. Now this is definitely positive news, because it shows that they're making at least somewhat of a progress on their self-driving, because as we know, it's been pushed for years and years and we've never seen the final result of their full self-driving. But the fact that it's now somewhat released in at least a beta stage shows progress. But at the same time, take it with a grain of salt, because there are a lot of safety concerns. As we know, last month, the federal department launched an investigation into Tesla for their self-driving features, and there's been a lot of scrutiny behind it, despite, the overall efficiency of it versus, man-made mistakes on the road anyways. But ignoring that, positive news overall, and that's where we're seeing the stock follow through. And combine this with the golden cross and how the technicals are looking, it's definitely 100% possible that we could continue seeing higher highs and higher lows and continue pushing up to the upside. Now, another really bullish thing that I want to mention that not a lot of people are talking about is that Tesla was forming this descending falling wedge, right? Essentially, we're getting tighter and tighter, and now we broke out to the upside. And these wedges usually lead to breakouts to the upside, so nothing too special there. But with a big thing that you have to consider is this previous lower high that we had here at 780, where we were facing resistance. The reason this is so bullish that we've now broken above the 780 level right over here is because until we break above the 780, the previous lower high, technically we're still in a downtrend. Technically we're still farming lower lows and lower highs until we break above that previous lower high, right? Until we break above this, technically we're still in a downtrend. But the fact that we've now broken above and validated that level of support over here shows me strong buyer demand to commit to that higher price level and officially break out of this downtrend and break out of this trend. So that's a big buy signal and very bullish sign for me. So now going to the 9-month 4-hour chart, we can see it's again looking really bullish. We've broken above this previous level of support and previous level of resistance that we had at about 780, and we're finally above it. Now again, like I said, we could probably pull back, turn that level into support and validate it, showing buyer strength before a continuation higher. Now if we get that continuation higher, then the next level I see for Tesla is probably all the way up here at about 818, 820. This is where we had a previous level of support right over here. So definitely I think this is where our next target is. But overall, all-time highs is not that far-fetched. I mean, we're approaching it. It's looking bullish. There's positive news. You know, this recent dip in the markets put a lot of money back into it. Tesla being the most shorted stock for years makes it an attractive opportunity for us to see all-time highs potentially yet again. So overall, looking bullish from that aspect. Now, talking about the bearish scenario, let's talk about what happens in case of a drop back down. So like I mentioned, pull back to 780, probably very likely. Now, if we break down, then I could easily probably see Tesla stock come down here to 730, which is where our bottom diagonal support line is of this higher high and higher low channel, right? As we can see, we've been really strongly validating this level. So then I could see Tesla on a potential pullback come down to 730, but I highly doubt we see that. I think right now in the short term, things are looking bullish. Tesla has the momentum at this point. A small correction does make sense, but nothing so drastic as to 730 unless the fundamentals drastically change or we see some really negative news coming out. You know, you have to monitor the Fed situation, what they're doing with interest rates. But apart from that, we also do have the Evergrande situation. Now, the Chinese government will most likely step up to try to prop them back up. But if you see any, major economic factors trickling down from that towards the US, then obviously the overall market, including Tesla stock, will most likely pull back. So fundamentals are definitely important to consider, but technically speaking, we are looking extremely bullish with some really strong buyer volume as well. You can see volume was overall pretty flat, but today as well, volume stepped up dramatically, and overall it's been healthy and increasing, indicating to me that funds have been really buying up into Tesla along each of these dips. Every dip, boom, funds are buying in with these nice little buying volume spikes. So that's overall good to see. So with that being said, guys, that's the video. If you enjoyed this in-depth technical breakdown, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to learn technical analysis for yourself and a ton of advanced trading strategies that have helped me help you guys catch over 100% gains simply because of the technicals, so be sure to go get my new book, A Technical Trader's Handbook, on Amazon that covers a ton of trading strategies. So be sure to go get it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.